Today in the crypto space, we see the market still looking a bit slumpy. Bitcoin right around $108,800. Still holding steady though. Ethereum right around 3% to the downside, 4,350 bucks. The rest of the crypto space looking a little, again, weak, waiting for these heavyweights to make some critical decisions. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. But more importantly, I want to talk about one project, one heavyweight that a lot of us have been looking at, especially in the previous cycles. And that project is called VECHAIN. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover in tonight's live stream, feel free to let me know in the chat. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here, because we do see a little bit of indecision throughout the market. Market cap right now, let's do a quick refresh so we get the latest and the greatest here. Right around $3.8 trillion of trading volume is on an uptrend, which is nice to see. However, the market cap is not in an uptrend per se, kind of going sideways, a bit of choppy, a bit of indecision. And you can see that permeate throughout the market. Guys, before we look at VECHAIN and talk about VECHAIN, let's quickly scrape to the top 100 so we can get a sense of what is really happening here in this market. We got the official Trump token taking a bit of a dip, and World Liberty Financials also taking a bit of a dip today. Guys, be careful with those new projects that are coming out hot, particularly the ones that got a lot of hype earlier on. As you can see, the market has been very sideways, very indecisive, choppy here, guys, mostly to the downside at the current moment, approximately 2 to 3%, give or take, depending on the project you're looking at. This is the thing here, guys. Could we be gearing up for another dip, another structural break of structure to the downside, a continuation on lower time frames? Nothing on the daily is showing me bearishness, but if you drop to lower time frames, for example, this 1 hour fractal, we can definitely come down to range lows and break below, sweep liquidity at those lows, and come down for an extension, for a sustained move to the downside. However, if it's a swing failure, maybe this could be the beginning of a proper reversal here at these lower time frames for a continuation to the upside on the daily. This is the thing here, guys. We're pretty much at an inflection on lower time frames, and that could kind of reflect some good price action for higher time frame reversals and continuations to the upside. As you can see, some of these heavyweights are still looking a bit slumpy more than others, like Sui, for example, making those lower lows and lower highs not the best. We got a few other dips, sideways. You can see that not doing much here. Sideways and Polkadot, a little bit lower lows here and there. Uniswap, the same thing. As you can see, the market, generally speaking, is very sideways, but a bit slumpy here and there. Matic is doing great. Matic is doing good. Polygon is doing good. Still bull flagging. Maybe put a stop loss underneath that little structure there, because if it does retrace, it'll come back down to the breakout zone, so be very careful on that one. We got IP going sideways there, and a few gainers, few grinders. As you can see, Algorand still kind of planking. Missed out on that deep dive on Algorand, guys. Go check it out. It was released yesterday. It's a heavyweight of a deep dive, full thorough deep dive. Go check it out. Links are in the description, and so on. Let's continue down. As you see, the market right now is a little red. It's leaning towards red. It's a bit dippish, 3% on average, I would say. Some more than doing better than others. What's meme core all of a sudden waking up? I wouldn't touch it anyway. Nonetheless, guys, the market's a little sloppy. I still feel like it's a great place to start dabbling in. Nothing major position, nothing major, no crazy leverage, just dabbling in slowly, peppering in a bit of capital here and there, and that's what I'm doing, because we, in the big picture, guys, we are still on a bit of a dip. Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about VECHAIN. What is all VECHAIN about? Could VECHAIN dip a little bit further? Let's take a look at VECHAIN in a little bit more detail. As you can see that, VECHAIN is a larger cap. VECHAIN in previous cycles did very, very well, as you can see, and we are currently, hesitating. You can see that also from a market cap perspective. Yeah, it is large. $2 billion is quite big, for this space. It's top 100, no doubt. And overall, max supply and circulating supply pretty much fully diluted, which means that there's no real risk of dilution in the media short term of unlocks and so on. So not bad from a tokenomics perspective. Now, what has VeChain been up to the last little while? VeChain is a leading blockchain for real-world enterprise dApps, tokenizing everything from supply chains to sustainability. Now, we have to understand that its original value proposition was highly tied to a business-to-business solution for supply chain management, which is still very valid. It did diversify a little bit in previous cycles, to the point that it even got into NFTs and things like that, but it's not the point. The point is that reality, it is one of the OGs in the space that had a very strong marketing presence during the bear market, and I appreciate that significantly. So as we go down, we see that there's some good stuff here. VeChain, the VeChain Foundation is pleased to announce we are recently became clients of Franklin Templeton, one of the world's largest asset managers with over $1.7 trillion in assets under management. This is good financial perspective. Why not? Seeing that happen there. VeChain Builders, VeChain Kit is your front end accelerant for global hackathon. It abstracts wallet and UX complexity. Guys, supporting development, developers, ecosystem growth. All of this is very necessary. Obviously, to keep the chain and the utility of the token alive, you need use case, and this is good when you're building a community based on providing support that way via Kit and so on. As you can see, we also have some other good relationships tied into the interoperability of the space in general. We have a WAN bridge now connects 47 chains. Here are the 5 latest blockchains integrated, right? And you can see Hello World. We got VET and Swan partnership or agreement here happening. And as you can see, lots of different chains working together, and WAN chain connects them all, which is, a bridge type of scenario that interoperability offers. So pretty good stuff here for VeChain, lots of good fundamentals and so on. Guys, it definitely research worthy. Go check it out. Now, let's take a look at charts. Let's see what's going on with VeChain. From the general perspective, you can see that VeChain is at the bottom of the range. Now, could it come down a little bit more? Sure. It's very, very possible. We see tons of volume here, and we can see that there's a lot of market participation. One could argue that this is fair value. Yeah, because this is where the majority of individuals are buying and or has bought. We see a point of control here. Very possible that this point of control is still at a very lucrative level, because we are, generally speaking, within the range, the tops right here to the absolute bottoms. We're gearing towards the bottom of this range, which means that you're probably getting a decent value altogether anyways. It is VeChain currently undervalued. I think it is, to the point that, look, if these are not buy the dip opportunities, I don't know what is. If we break below these bottoms, particularly these bottoms down here, guys, VeChain gets into a level of difficulty in the sense that we're going to be hunting liquidity from previous cycles, which we obviously don't want to do. We don't want to drop below bear market bottoms of this cycle. So what I'm trying to say here is that from a risk to reward ratio perspective, you're getting in at a very good level to take some risk, particularly even on spot. We know that the large caps are going to get a few bids sooner than later, right, in comparison to the smaller caps, which means that right now being risk on a large project like this one, like VeChain with the large market cap, is not a bad idea. Now, if we get onto the 4-day, I think the 4-day might give you a better edge, given the fact that we've respected this horizontal level significantly, and you can see that based on the 4-day structure. And the fact is that we came down to these conditions, not quite oversold, but somewhat oversold before. And at the current moment, we are in a bearish response. You can see that very clearly. And it might take a couple of days to actually resolve this bearish response. The volatility line could definitely come down to oversold conditions here on the 4-day, which would present another opportunity for a fall, a dip into this level. Unfortunately, that would be the case. And that's unfortunate, because then we start toying with the idea of coming to sweep liquidity at these bottoms. Guys, I'm talking about the bearish scenario, obviously, because that allows us to build a setup from a position of strength. So what am I saying here? Is that if we get oversold, we could endure for a better opportunity to accumulate. But we're nickeling and diming for entries. In my opinion, that's a sign of greed. You shouldn't be trying to time a bottom perfectly. Generally speaking, this is the bottom, unless we break this bottom and we start expanding to the downside for another extension. Guys, if that happens, your bullish thesis gets invalidated, stop yourself out, get out. But until then, this whole general area, let me just highlight that this area with a yellow box right into here up until the invalidation of this bottom. Let's make the invalidation a little bit more clear and formal. Let's make it like this, and let's make this box yellow. As I mentioned, though usually my yellow boxes on my charts represent DCA, points of interest that should be good levels of accumulation. And then what we'll do is we'll enhance the thickness of this so that we can understand its validity. We can get rid of some of this old price action and this old price action and so on. So we're pretty clear right now that we understand that this is the zone. This is the level of which we need to take a bit of risk. And we can see that there's a bit of an imbalance here that can cause that emotional reaction. We can see that there's still an opportunity to hunt liquidity on these bottoms and at this bottom right here. So I would say like that, big picture, we're still at a bottom. We're still at a level where we could DCA from a position of strength. And if you instead of trying to time a bottom, I would be accumulating in this zone. VeChain is still looking good, guys. We could definitely see, look at the last bullish responses made higher highs. Do we go up for another higher high? Do we go up for another massive expansion to previous highs and all price discovery and all of that kind of stuff? Guys, everything is on the table still. Why? Because really, we haven't seen the others chart expand yet. We're still at the bottom of the range and others is doing nothing. Guys, if you don't know what the others chart is, join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. We'll talk about all of that. And of course, join the Discord, guys. It's absolutely free. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.